Hello, everyone. It's good to see you and to be working with you today. So, today is all about having a great big sing together. Now, I must apologize. We're going up a little late today. There was a little hitch. Yeah, it's live theatre for you. And Ray is keeping me on my toes by doing that. But anyway, we're now up and running, and that is brilliant news. Now, this week we are looking at a musical called Rent. Now, you guys, a lot of you guys are kind of ahead of the game, aren't you? You're well ahead of me anyway, because you've watched the film. Amazing. You've also had a bit of a discussion about some of the themes which come up in Rent. Now, I must admit that I don't really know Rent that very much. So actually, what's great is like kind of we're learning this piece together. So like, you've got to help me through, yeah? So I want to know anything you want. So get on that chat. Tell me what you think of the piece. Who's your favourite character? Why you like that character? And why you think this musical is really great? Or maybe why it isn't so great. But actually, when I think about musicals, they're quite fluffy, aren't they? They're kind of like they make you often feel really great, and they're kind of light themed. And I tell you, this musical's not like that, is it? This is a gritty piece. This is a piece which also really packs a punch. You know, nothing is unturned. You know, all the characters, are grappling with some really huge emotional issues. And I can tell you, I was blown away by the story. And I just want to read you something actually. And this was written by the composer, a guy called Jonathan Larson, and it's not a name that I know actually, but actually there's something about this story which is also really sad actually, because actually he died the day before the preview of the show. So this whole story is kind of, even though it's an incredibly powerful sort of uplifting story in lots of ways, also has lots of sadness in it as well. But he wrote these words in 1996, and I still think they're really relevant today. In these dangerous times, when the world is ripping apart at the seams, we can learn from those who stare death in the face every day by reaching out to each other and bonding as a community, rather than hiding from the terrors of life. Now, that's something which was written over, 20 odd years ago, isn't it? And it still feels really relevant today, particularly in our world today. I'm getting some messages in from people. Angel, Philip loves Angel. She's such a beautiful soul. Rent opens up a discussion for a lot of stereotypes. Yeah, maybe, yeah. Hi, Julie, great to hear from you. Seasons of Love, great, brilliant. Love watching the musical and love chatting about it with everyone. Fantastic. So already your ideas are coming through. So please keep them coming. I want to know what you think. I tell you what's also great about this musical, and something I think is really intriguing about it, and is that it relates quite strongly to an opera that many of us have probably looked at in the past, and that is the opera La Bohème by Puccini. And a lot of the themes which Jonathan Larson uses, he takes from poem. And actually, composers have often done that throughout the days, like taken bits of inspiration and popped it in their pieces. So today we're going to look at two great pieces from Rent, but also we're going to have a little look at a bit of La Bohème as well, just to sort of keep it sort of all streetwise opera. But before we do anything, I think we need to just connect together and do a little bit of a physical and vocal warm-up just to get us in the space and being a company, as Jonathan Larson says, which really sort of binds us together. So let's just, wherever we are, I'm sitting down at the moment, you may be standing up, and I'm making sure that my feet are hip-width apart. You've heard that loads and loads of times. I'm making sure that my knees are soft and my hips are free. I'm just going to give them a little bit of a wheel. In fact, I'm going to do a bit of hula hooping. Yep, a little bit of hula hooping one way and hula hooping the other. Now I'm just going to go up to my rib cage, which is just here, okay? And I'm going to do a little bit of hula hooping there. Hula hooping, it's quite hard to say, isn't it? And I'm just going to isolate my rib cage a little bit, because when we breathe into it, we really need to expand that. So I just need to give it a little bit of a flexing. Oh, yep. Oh, yep. Going one way and going the other. Now I'm going to go up to my shoulders. Yeah, you saw it coming. And I'm just going to roll my shoulders back for 4. Here we go. And we're going to call out the counts. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And now, whilst you're doing it, I need you to smile. I can't see your smiles, but I need to feel your smiles. Here we go. And we're going to go forward for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And also, we can't hold our breath either. So we've got to smile and not hold our breath. Oh my goodness me, it's like multitasking. Okay, shoulders up to ears, breathing in. And we're going to let out the air as if we're a horse. I know, that probably looked very attractive. Up we go again. And just drop it again like a horse. Now, one of my favourite things is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And 8 here. 8 on our tummies. 8 left leg. 8 right leg. Then we can do 6, 4, 2, and 1. Just to get our bodies all engaged from top to bottom. Okay, here we go. We're going to call out the counts together. Remember, smiling is essential and not holding your breath. Yeah. So I don't want you to sort of like blow up. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Oh my goodness me. Now wipe your brows. Okay, let's just make a few little vocal sounds just to get us all our bodies engaged inside. Can we make this sound? Shh, shh, shh. Okay, lovely. And can we make this sound? S, s, s. Lovely. Oh, there's a lovely message. You'll feel the sun come shining through if you just smile. Anita, thank you for that. What a lovely message that is. I tell you, it's looking a little bit cloudy here, so I'm going to smile a lot, hoping that the sun comes out. Okay, I'm going to take your advice. Okay, so can we go shh, 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 shh. Off you go. Shh, 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 shh. And there, just put your hands on your tummies and just feel what's going on down below. Here we go. Shh, 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 shh. Do you feel that little bit of pulsing going on? That's kind of what we need to get going, so we can really feel engagement right deep in our tummies. Now, something about Rent is that they often use quite kind of extreme vocal techniques to sing. They go, whoa, all over the place. And actually, so we just need to be a little bit careful when we sing this music to make sure that we're feeling really anchored. That's a really important word, really anchored and earthed to the floor. And I think if we're earthed and anchored, that also makes our message even truer. And that's kind of what we want as artists, isn't it? And I think that's what Jonathan Larson was talking about, that sense of coming together and sharing it as a community and being really truthful together. Philip Jones. Rob, you looking fab. Well, Jermaine, it's been a lot of makeup going on here, I tell you, and a lot of this. So thank you. That's very nice of you, Philip. Anyway, it's I'm sorry I can't see your faces, but I'm going to say I'm having a great time working with you today. So thank you for your messages. Okay, can we just make a couple more noises? Off you go. And go, woo! And could you imagine you're a little bit like a party popper? Off you go. Shove a gesture in. I think that's always a good way. Just gives you sort of a bit of a connection between not only your body, but your voice as well. Connecting together. That's great. Okay, now could you just stick out your tongues like this? Off you go. And then finally, let's just give me a little blah, 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 with our lovely, relaxed jaws. Brilliant. Now, I want to sing a little piece of music. Now, I wonder if you know this. It goes like this. La, 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 la. La, 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 la. Now, guys, do you recognise that tune? Do you recognise that tune? I wonder. Do you know? Anyone recognise that tune? send me a little message. Now, before you jump in, you're going to listen to it one more time. It's just to see if anyone knows that tune. It's not a trick question. If you don't know, don't worry. La, 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 la. La, 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 la. Now Anita's come back with an answer. Yeah, I think, yeah, it is. It's Musetta's aria. Yes, quando men vo. Yes, when people pass me by. Yes. And now, this is a piece from La Bohème, which Jonathan Larson puts in Rent. And I thought just to get ourselves sort of vocalising together, we like to do a little warm-up song, don't we, just to get ourselves in the groove. I think we should sing this melody. So it goes like this. It's really smooth, yes? I want you to feel really strong when you do it, because Musetta, when she does it, she's standing on a table, she feels really strong, and she's singing across the stage and into the audience. So just listen again. La, 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 la. Off you go. La, 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 la. Beautiful. Next bit. La, 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 la. Try that. La, 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 la. Next bit. La, 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 la. Try that. La 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 la. Now I'm doing it in my low, deep voice down here because actually it's really written for a soprano. So you can do it up here. Brace yourself. I'll give it a go. La 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 la. So you can either go up there or down there. And I just want you to sing it to La and sing your hearts out. And if you want to fling your arms out, do that as well. And I'm going to add a little bit of accompaniment on my rather terrible keyboard here. So brace yourselves. I'm going to sing as loudly as possible to drown it. Here we go. Singing together, everyone. Smiling. Remember breathing. Feeling that connection to your tummy. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. La, 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 la. La, 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 la. Now I'm going to do it up an octave. Here we go. La, 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 la. La, 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 la. La, 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 la. So that's our little warm-up, vocal warm-up. So Jacqueline, you said that sounds familiar. Philip says, people stop and stare at me. They gawp and gaze and glare at me. Brilliant. I love it. So these are the, you know this. That's brilliant, isn't it? But I tell you what's brilliant is actually, this is actually, Jonathan Larson, the composer, uses this in Rent as well. So when you're next watching Rent, you'll see he pops it in here and there. It's a little connection to La Bohème. So I think we need to crack on and learn a song. Now, the song I want to look at is sung by one of the lead characters, and I suppose it's very much an ensemble piece, this, isn't it? Very much an ensemble where lots of different people all come together. Company feel, yeah? A bit like us. We're all company today, aren't we? That's great. Great, la 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 la, seems very brilliant. Some lovely messages coming in. I'm going to read them in a second. I don't want you to think that I've forgotten you, but I want to learn this song. Now, so this song is sung by one of the lead characters, I suppose, in this ensemble cast, called Roger. And actually in La Bohème, he's Rodolfo. I suppose it's sort of a bit of a crossover. And the song is called One Song Glory. And I think you'll be able to see the words now. And I thought this piece it's a really good song to look at because in some ways it's a bit like us, isn't it? We're artists and we're all trying to find our voices, all trying to find our sort of hidden truths so that we can express them, and that's why we do music and sing. And I thought this is a guy who's trying to find his voice. He's trying to find his voice, and he's having a bit of a struggle, like sometimes we do, don't we? We have ups and downs when we're trying to make music. And so it opens with this thing. This little figure goes like this. And there's a little gap. Another gap. And can you hear that? It's kind of truncated, isn't it? It's kind of broken up. It's kind of, oh. And I suppose, I don't know, what do you think that means? I imagine that's him trying to I need an idea. I'm trying to work it out. And gradually he does. And the words I think you can see go like this. I'll sing a first bit and then we'll learn it a bit together. The theme kind of repeats. It goes like this. One song, glory. One song before I go. Glory. One song to leave behind. Find one song, one last refrain. Glory. From the pretty boy front man who wasted opportunity. That is essentially the theme. Okay, can you see it? It's quite bitty, isn't it? Don't worry if you don't know this song. And then it sort of builds up, and I suppose what happens is gradually these little bits all kind of join together. And I suppose that's his thought process of oh yeah, I'm gradually getting my ideas together and my thoughts are melding together and welding together. So the tune, just listen, goes like this. One song, glory, one song before I go. So it's just going up and down, da da, da da, da da, da da, da da. Should we try it together? Here we go. I think you've got the words. One song, glory, one song before I go. And then it carries on like this. Glory, one song to leave behind. And it's got that dee dee dee. And that's, I suppose, it's kind of a bit of a release, isn't it? Should we go from the top? How are you getting on? It's a good song, isn't it? Here we go. One song, glory, one song before I go. Glory, one song to leave behind. Find. And there's a little cheeky find at the end. Yes, it's oh yeah. He's oh yeah, I've got another thought. And then he continues. Should we continue? It's a similar kind of thing. One song, one last refrain. Glory from the pretty boy front man. So it's a little bit funkier, isn't it? From the pretty boy front man who wasted opportunity. It's kind of funky, isn't it? Should we go from the top? This is going to be real, okay? So I want you to imagine, because we're performers, as soon as the music starts, the character is totally engaged, yeah? So what can we do for this opening bit? What do you think he's doing? Do you think he could be sitting in, scratching his head, maybe typing, stopping? So in the gaps, I want you to fill those gaps with maybe an action. Maybe it's just a thought of an action. Don't know. Maybe that's more interesting. Who knows? Here we go, from the top. Little thought. Another thought. Now he sings. One song, glory, one song before I go. Glory, one song to leave behind. Find one song, one last refrain. Glory from the pretty boy front man who wasted opportunity. How are you getting on? Can we go on? More words. Let's try and fit the words in a bit. I don't mind if you improvise, because a lot of this style is it's a little bit free as well. Here we go, carrying on. One song, he had the world at his feet, glory in the eyes of a young girl, find glory beyond the cheap coloured lights, one song before the sun sets, glory on another empty life. Great, so the end bit, can you, holding his chin in thought, like that, Jacqueline, Really thinking. Ah, I love that. Thanks for those thoughts and ideas. Can you see? So a lot of it, the melody just kind of keeps repeating with a few little adaptations, and then we have this empty life, and then we have this little bit of chorus, which goes like this. Time flies, time flies, glory. Now, it's a little high for me, this bit, so I'm going to sing it in my falsetto. So it goes like this, hello. Roger is saying words out loud whilst writing the song. Lovely, Julia. That's great. That's great. I love that. Exactly. I suppose he's thinking all these things. So this chorus bit, can we learn it? Okay. And so when I go into my falsetto, if you can sing up there, give it something. But for me right now, I'm going to just sing it in my falsetto. Okay. So let's. Time flies. Time flies. One blaze of glory, one blaze of glory, glory. I ran out of breath. So guys, that is kind of the song. It continues a little bit, but I just wanted to give you a little taste of that number. Go and search it out. Go and learn it. Go and sing it to your mates. Go and sing it to the group at Streetwise. But that is the basic shape of the song. We need to move on. Otherwise, we'll be here at about 4 in the afternoon. Now, just because I want to sort of, shake it up a bit. At that point in Rent, there's a knock at the door. And someone turns up. And this person is called Mimi. And if you know bohème, Mimi turns up too. So and they meet. Well, actually, in the opera, they kind of really fall in love straight away. There's a real connection. But in Rupert Everett just entered the building. Did he? Oh. Thank you for that, Jacqueline. How amazing. But actually, in Rent, they're a little bit unsure of each other. Just because I think both of them are HIV positive, and I think they're uneasy about how to approach that with someone they're meeting. So I suppose that's when this musical really sort of hits hard, the emotion and the difficulty of having to understand how you feel about these things and also address difficult issues in your life. But there's a little moment, and I want us to have a look at it, and it's really a really beautiful moment, and it goes like this, and it's sung by Rodolfo in La Bohème. How cold your little hand is, let me warm it on my own. Your key, don't mind it, it's far too dark to find it. Do you remember that? Do you remember that bit from La Bohème? Well, I just want us to have a little look up at that bit, because I suppose the sentiment is kind of similar in both pieces. So, it goes like this. How cold your little hand is. And you'll notice, all on the same note. Just going with the sort of speech patterns, yeah? It goes like this. How cold your little hand is. Try that. How cold your little hand is. And then we have a little moment. Let me warm it in my own. Try that. Let me warm it in my own. Or you can do it down the octave. Let me warm it in my own. That's fine. And then I'm going to go down the octave just because it's high for me. Your key, don't mind it. Your key, don't mind it. It's far too dark to find it. It's far too dark to find it. So, the whole thing, just listen, goes like this. I'll pop a piano to it. How cold your little hand is, let me warm it in my own. Your key, don't mind it, it's far far too dark to find it. And it's a really sort of beautiful, it's like a little lullaby in the back. It's a lullaby in the back, and if I had a lovely pedal, which would make it all merge together, it would sound beautiful. Anyway, use your imagination. Can we sing it? Okay, so we start with this single note. It's like this. It's like a moment, it's like a thought. It's like that moment of connection you have with someone. Here we go. How cold your little hand is, let me warm it in my own. Your key, don't mind it, it's far too dark to find it. Let's do it again, here we go. How cold your little hand is, let me warm it in my own. Your key, don't mind it, it's far too dark to find it. So the thing about this melody is also used in Rent, and I think it's used in Light My Candle. I think it's used in that song. So just listen to that. It's in a slightly different context in Rent, but the melody. So listen to all these different things. Now, the final piece is a piece we can't really ignore because it is such a cracker. It's such a cracker, and I think you know what it is. Seasons of Love. Oh yes, this is a huge, huge hit. Something like that. Anyway, so you got the words there, and just before we do it, can we just work on these words? Okay, could you just say to me, 525,600 minutes. Try that with me. Here we go. 525,600 minutes. Again, 525,000 moments so dear. Carry on. 525,600 minutes. How do you measure a year? Now, I just want us to try it. Just do something technical. I just want you to just do this. Off you go. So I want all the words here, right here, yeah? Right here. Now, can we put the words right there? Here we go, 1, 2, off we go. 525,600 minutes. 525,000 moments so dear. 525,600 minutes. How do you measure a year? And I immediately, I can't, my body just kind of goes, oh yeah, I'm off, okay. So I just want you to do this, because if you go 5,020, whatever it is, 525,600, if you move your jaws too much, it's going to be really hard work, and actually it's just right here. And there's something about the performance of this, when they do it in the show. Julie says, my favourite song. It is a cracking song, isn't it? Great song. And so many people have done it, like Glee, they've done it in Glee and all these things. I mean, it's brilliant. They face the audience. You know, the cast just face the audience. There's nothing more empowering than a cast member just looking out into the auditorium, just going. So this is when we find our feet hip width apart, you know, our knees soft, our hips really free, and we're just like sending out that message. Okay. Do we know this song? Should we just give it a go? We'll break it down a little bit. Here we go. Little introduction. 525,600 minutes. 525,000 moments, oh dear. 525,600 minutes. How do you measure a year? How'd you get on? Bridget, hi Bridget. It's gobbledygook. It's a gobbledygook song. So we have to make sense of it, don't we? I suppose it's about coming together, isn't it? So I think even though the words might be like blah 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 blah, I think it's like, in essence, this song is like, you know, we are one, you know, in everything we do, love is the most important thing which joins us together. Yeah, joy and love, compassion, that sense of camaraderie. I suppose that's what this song is about throughout the year. Yeah, seasons of love. Here we go. Straight on it. 1, 2, off we go. 525,600 minutes, 525,000 moments, oh dear. 525,600 minutes. How do you measure a year? In daylight, in sunsets, in midnight, in tubs of coffee, in inches, in miles, in laughter, in strife. So it slightly changes there, doesn't it? So in daylight, in sunsets, in midnights, in cups of coffee, in inches, in miles, in laughter, in strife. Okay, so could we put some clicks in? So if I was like, oh yeah, I suppose if we're in the session together, we'd be like, whoa, dancing together, going side to side. So if you want a little sway and a little click. So in daylight, in sunsets, in midnights, in cups of coffee, in inches, in miles, in laughter, in strife. 525,600 minutes. How do you measure a year in a life? Got it? Should we go for it? It's amazing. I can sing it backward. Philip can sing it backwards. Oh my goodness me. I would love to hear that because I can barely sing it forwards. Okay, so we're on the stage. And we're facing out to our audience. Yep. Standing up really straight. We're like, whoosh, yes. Don't waste me. Here's a little introduction. And I want you to imagine you're walking onto the stage now, feeling really empowered. And you're finding your position, feeling really anchored. And just getting ready to send your message out there. Off we go. 525,600 minutes. 525,000 moments, oh dear. 525,600 minutes. How could you measure a year? In daylight, in sunsets, in midnights, in cups of coffee, in inches, in miles, in laughter, in strife. 525,600 minutes. How do you measure a life? Great. Going on. How about love? How about love? How about love? Measuring love. Now there's various harmonies, so you could go, how about love? Love. How about love? How about love? Or you go, love, love. There's lots of different things you could do, and I kind of want you to improvise on it. So you'll hear these chords like this. Love, 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 measuring love, seasons of love. I made a slight hash to the notes there, but you get the sense of it. Okay, can we go from how about love? Off we go. 1, 2, off we go. How about love? How about love? How about love? Seasons love. Seasons of love. Love. What are we going to do? I'm wiping my brow. We're going to go from the very top to there. And then what we're going to do, we're going to go round to the sort of beginning bit of this bit. And I want us to improvise something. Because in this style, ba 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 la 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 ba 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 da da ba 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 da da ba 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 da da. I know, that came out of nowhere. So what we're going to do, we're going to do the song, then we're going to go back to the beginning, and I just want you to have a little bit of a, whoo, free thing, and you go really high, you can go really low, you can sing the tune. I do not mind, but I kind of just want you to let rip in your rooms, having a bit of a boogie, and then we'll finish with 525,600 minutes, and I think that'll be the end of the session. Guys, it's been great to work with you. Not the end yet, though. Here we go. Introduction. I want you to imagine you're walking onto stage. I'm going to give you 8 bars, yes? So it goes like this. Walking on stage, finding your position. Oh yes, we've got 2 more bars. Here we go. 525,600 minutes, 525,000 moments, oh dear. 525,600 minutes. How do you measure a year? In daylight, in sunsets, in midnights, in cups of coffee, in inches, in miles, in laughter, in strife. 525,600 minutes. How do you measure a life? How about love? How about love? How about love? Measuring love. Seasons of love. Love. And again. Love. And again, 525,600 minutes, 525,000 moments, oh dear. 525,600 minutes. How do you measure a year? Now can we do a bit of improv? Here we go. And last bit. 125,600 minutes, 525,000 moments, oh dear. 525,600 minutes. How do you measure a year? Could you give yourselves a huge round of applause? Great. There's a little message. Anita says, please remind regarding big meet tomorrow with creatives for the dear and add Jonathan. Excellent. Bridget says, Phil challenge, sing it backwards with a mouthful of marshmallows. There were moments that I could be singing marshmallows when I was doing it, guys. But guys, that's a little taster. That's a little taster of Rent. It's new to me, so I've learned it too with you. So it's been really great to share some of my ideas and some of my thoughts about Rent with you. Guys, take care. I hope you've had a good old sing. I hope you've had a good old dance around the room, and you're feeling ready to see whatever the day brings you. Anyway, great to see you, and see you hopefully before too long. Take care. Enjoy your wonderful Streetwise projects. Bye.